issue that is trending in and around the globe that is coming from the country Benin. In the early hours of December 7, 2025, an attempted coup took place in Benin, and then it has sparked a rave all over the country, inside and outside Benin. As I'm taking to you right now, there is an update coming up from the President of the Republic of Ghana, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama. This is alleged that the President has called on the military of Ghana. This is alleged that the President of the Republic of Ghana has called on the military of Ghana to take up the action and then move to Benin to have an interim actions taken so that this coup can be handled in Benin. My brother Chris is here. He has more updates on this issue. Chris, we are hearing that the President of Ghana, His Excellency, has ordered Ghana's military to take action on the coup that took place in Benin. How true is it?
Yes, we'll welcome all our viewers and we'll take them through the very updates on this particular issue coming in from Benin. So the ECOWAS has ordered 8 states to mobilize their reserve forces for the ECOWAS states to go into Benin and make sure that they calm things there. As we speak now, the coup groups, some of them have gone into hiding and some of them have been arrested. So those that have gone into hiding, including the coup leader, who is Pascal Tigiri, he's still he has still gone into hiding. That is why they have to deploy the ECOWAS forces to go into Benin to make sure that they calm things down over there. Now, if you understand, there has been talks between the ECOWAS and then the Sahel states, the AES, let me put it that way, the Alliance States of the Sahara. When the Burkina Faso president, when he brought them together, you realize that most of the French countries in the West Africa has been there has been coup there. So they have to make sure that they don't add these numbers up to it. So now we can talk about Senegal, Cote d'Ivoire, Togo, and Benin. These are some of the remaining French countries that hasn't, or let me say that there is no coup there. Okay. So the ECOWAS has to come in and make sure that they will be able to maintain Togo and make sure that they don't, Benin, and make sure that the coup doesn't, materialize. So this is what is currently going on. And Ghana is part of the West African states, and we know that our President John Dramani Mahama has also been ordered to bring our troops to Benin. And this is with an immediate effect. Okay. You need not wait for anything because as we speak now, as I said earlier, the coup leader is still in hiding. So we don't know their next line of action. Okay. So they have to make sure that they go in and to make sure they stop all the, stop the coup that is currently ongoing. So countries like Nigeria, Ghana, Sierra Leone, Cote d'Ivoire, they've all been ordered to bring in their troops to go into Benin and make sure that, they thought all the plans of the coup groups.
Okay. So as you can see on the screen, this is coming from the ECOWAS Commission, and it says that statement of the Republic of Benin, number 2, further to its earlier statement on the Republic of Benin, the ECOWAS Commission hereby informs the general public that 1. Pursuant to the provisions of relevant ECOWAS instrument, in particular Article 25E of the 1999 Protocol relating to the mechanisms for conflict prevention, management, resolution, peacekeeping, and security, and 2. After consultation among members of the Mediation and Security Council at the level of heads of state and government, the chair of ECOWAS, Authority of Heads of State and Government, has ordered the deployment of elements of the ECOWAS standby force to the Republic of Benin with immediate effect. The regional force shall be made up of troops from the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Republic of Sierra Leone, Republic of Cote d'Ivoire, and Republic of Ghana. The force shall support the government and the Republican Army of Benin to preserve constitutional order and the territorial integrity of the Republic of Benin. So this is coming from the ECOWAS chair, that is President Tinubu. He is ordering that with immediate effect, all countries mentioned in the stated release, that is Ghana, Nigeria, Sierra Leone, Cote d'Ivoire, should order their troops immediately to Benin so that they can put in place order. Yes, because as it stands now, Benin is in limbo. Benin is in, I mean, a lot of issues are going on. People are scared. There's living some kind of panic and all that. And then we need to put order in place as it stands now. Because, like my brother said, the coup leader, Pascal Tigri, is on the run. And as nobody knows exactly where he is, the next plan of action, and what is going to take place. And so we need more hands, more troops to join the Benin troop so that they can put law and instill peace and stability in the country as it stands now. And we are hearing other details concerning this whole attempted coup in Benin. And Chris is here. Chris, we are hearing that Nigeria and France, there was a bomb invasion in Benin. Can you tell us more about that? Can you give us more details?
Yes. So earlier yesterday, when all this attempted coup news started breaking onto the internet and all that, we heard that the France president, Emmanuel Macron, called the Nigerian president. You know, they share borders, and you know you can't call Togo to go in and assist. So he called President Tinubu to make sure that he calmed things down in Benin, because if the military is trying to stage a coup in your country, it is very good that we got another side of the military in Benin to make sure that, I mean, the coup doesn't happen. But then if we had the entire military coming together to do the coup, it means we will need an external force to come in to support. That is how come Nigeria came in very quickly and swiftly. As of yesterday in the morning, they went into Benin. They flown their jets, their fighter jets into Benin. So you could see in Benin a lot of fighter jets were, I mean, parading themselves in their airspace and making sure that they calm things down. As it stands now, they are targeting the places where the coup leaders or the coup groups, they've gone into hiding. It is true that yes, Nigeria went into Benin to make sure that they will be able to stand against this particular coup attempt.
Did this bomb evasion cause any loss of properties, lives, and all that?
Yeah, you see, let's take what we have on our screens. He said, according to local sources who provided me with these images, explosions have been reported at Tainon barracks, 6 kilometers from the airport. A group of coup leaders are said to have taken refuge and barricaded themselves in these barracks, while Lieutenant Colonel Tigri, who is the leader of the coup, is reportedly on the run and being hunted by the Beninese authorities. Some of the soldiers in Tainon are said to be changing into civilian clothes in order to flee and escape the local authorities. So as we speak now, the local authorities in Benin are trying to trace these coup plotters. And as we can see, they are in a hideout. So let's say if it is in Ghana, they can have barracks. So it is a similar resemblance to let's say Burma camp. You see how Burma camp is close to the airport and all that. So they have this kind of similarities. So they went there to I mean, barricade themselves
so they can flee.
So they can hide. So they are now in the barracks, trying to protect themselves with a barricade. So that is where they've tagged, because now you can't go in on foot. So that is why the Nigerian fighter jets and the France fighter jets together are trying to bomb these targeted places where the coup groups are hiding. Yes, so it is true that Nigeria, France, they have this joint operation in the airspace trying to, I mean, neutralize the plans of the coup leaders. Yes.
So according to your research, what is the main cause of this coup? We are hearing that it is being inspired and integrated by our own Cote d'Ivoire coup leader now.
Well, we can't confirm that now, but what we all know is that, you know, as I said earlier, the French countries in the West African, they feel that the alliance for Sahel states, they are trying to bring them together, and they can only do this through a coup. Now, talking about the fighter jets that were parading themselves in the airspace of Benin, there were three unidentified fighter jets in the airspace of Benin. So that is what we have on our screens. Three unidentified aircraft, including a military transport aircraft, were spotted on flight radar arriving in Cotonou. Two of the unidentified aircraft came from Nigeria. The transport aircraft came from Ivory Coast. So as you can see, some came from Nigeria, some also came from Ivory Coast. So it is a joint force. So this one is an update that we can talk about today. But earlier yesterday, there were some fighter jets parading the airspace, which allegedly people felt like they are also coming from France to join in with Nigeria and Cote d'Ivoire. Now, from what people are hearing, or from the local sources or the authorities themselves, it has been made known that there are some kind of negotiations underway. But let's see on our screens now. We can see one flight that is heading towards Benin. So that from the direction of the flight, it is coming from Cote d'Ivoire. And there were some other pictures too that we saw that there were some other planes moving from right to left, meaning from Nigeria to Cotonou, Benin. So yes, as I was saying earlier, it appears 3 Nigerian Air Force aircrafts entered Benin. 2 of them entered together and are quite fast. The stranger maneuver was both of them coming together as one is from Abuja and the other from Lagos. So yes, that is more explanation to the fighter jets that were going into Benin. So that is what we have on the radar, as we can see on the map. There, one is moving from what do you call it, from Lagos, and yes, we can see 2 other planes already in between Togo and then Benin. Yes. So as I was saying earlier, from local sources, the negotiations are underway with Lieutenant Colonel Pascal. Yes. Regarding his surrender. Now they want him to come out and then surrender. That is what they are trying to do with him. So now there is this breaking through that we want to talk about. This is France and Nigeria bomb Benin as country under coup attempt. French and Nigerian fighter jets are targeting targets in Benin linked to the coup plotters and trying to stop the removal of their controlled presidents. Now, this talks about France's president. People feel like some of these French countries are being controlled by France. And in order to maintain that kind of control or their hand that they have over Benin, they have to ensure that this coup doesn't materialize. Because if this coup should happen, it will be like similar. It will be a similar situation as Burkina Faso. As we know, as we speak now, there is no link between Burkina Faso and France. Do you understand? So if this coup should materialize or should happen, it is going to mean, or it will mean that France will no longer have control over Benin. So that is why we could see that they are coming in, because like if this is happening, it is related to Africans. ECOWAS can handle it. I learned that AU has also issued a communication trying to speak against the coup that is happening. So ECOWAS can handle it. AU can also handle it. But for some of these reasons, France has also come in, that they are trying to make sure that this coup doesn't materialize.
Okay, now there are other details and updates coming up that there is a link between this particular Benin coup and then that of Guinea-Bissau. Can you throw more light on it for us?
Yeah, so as I was saying earlier, the Alliance for Sahel States, people have the feel that they are doing this together. Do you understand? So people started mentioning Ibrahim Traore's name, Mali's president, Niger, and then the most recent one with Guinea. They started mentioning their name, so they have a few that it has some kind of a link. But for we to continue, let's look at what we have on our screens.
That is coming from the United States of America.
Yes.
Okay.
So this is coming from the United States of America. So the U.S. Embassy in Cotonou, they've come out with a communication trying to talk about, how they are not happy with what is happening in Benin and the fact that they have their citizens in Benin, trying to give them some special directives that will make sure that they protect their citizens that are currently in Benin. Yes.
Okay, so as we can see on the screen, this is from U.S. Embassy Cotonou. It says, the U.S. Embassy in Cotonou continues to monitor the situation in Benin and will share more information as it becomes available. We encourage U.S. citizens to continue to shelter in place. Due to the ongoing situation, regular consular appointments, including visa and passport services, will be suspended on Monday, December 8th, until further notice. For U.S. citizens requiring emergency assistance, please email. So that is the email down there. Now it says that is the United States Embassy. That is so as you can see there, down there is French. I'm a Ghanaian. So those that went to French school, come and read it. But that is what the U.S. Embassy is saying. So as you can see, they are monitoring the situation in Benin and we share more information as it becomes available. We encourage citizens. So as we read earlier, they should find a suitable place and then hide themselves and make sure that they are safe and they don't get themselves entangled in any chaos or anything like that. And they've left an email. So then U.S. citizens in Benin, if there is any state of emergency and you will need assistance, it says you can email acscotonou@state.gov. So that is what the US state has also come out to say. That is telling us that this coup has really traveled far, and then a lot of the first class countries are getting involved with this issue.
Yes, we know the United States of America. President Trump has recently launched his peace institution. His peace. Have some interest in something particular in Africa. That is why they come in and try to calm things down here in Africa. So yes, a lot of the Western world itself are watching keenly and closely to make sure that some of these things are handled very, very carefully, that it doesn't go out of hand, that the good people of Africa, or let me take it, Benin is not able to handle what is currently going on, then we'll have some of these countries coming in to support to make sure that some of these things, or this coup itself doesn't happen.
Okay, so let's go back to the link between this Benin coup and that of Guinea-Bissau.
Yes, so that is what we have on our screens. Let's look at what this is. Omoyele Sorry, he's a Nigerian politician. Okay. So let's see what he also has to share on this, and then we'll take. We'll digest into it. Okay. The so-called coup in Guinea-Bissau and the latest episode in the Republic of Benin share disturbing similarities. Okay. In Guinea-Bissau, the funny coup unfolded after a criminal former president effectively invited the military to intervene to avoid announcing elections, relinquishing power to an opposition figure with a popular mandate. It was not a seizure of power to restore order, but a manipulation of force to escape democratic progress. So yes, so you see how they are related. With this one, with the military felt like the progress of let's say democracy, the progress of the election, or the process that the election has to go through, are being thwarted in order to declare someone else as president, of which the good people of Guinea hasn't given the mandate to become the president. So with the Benin's own, there's a certain president who came into power from 2016, and he's doing well. You see, that some of the reasons that the people of the military, the coup group, some of the reasons that they were citing doesn't sit well with the masses. Do you understand? You see, when you start a coup, you should have the people rallying behind you. If you don't get the masses rallying behind you, definitely your coup won't succeed. You are going to fail, because most of the problems or the things that they were citing in Benin as the reason why they are staging the coup was because of, I mean, most of them relate to the military.
Okay.
I don't think any of them relates to the good people, because they cited that Talon's management of the country, President Patrice Talon's management of the country, as a military group. They don't like it.
Okay.
Then they also said that there has been some level of favoritism in the military.
Okay.
Then the other point is that they said there were some soldiers who were in line of duty and they died. Okay. They feel like the government has neglected them and their family. Okay. Do you understand? So those who died and those who sustained injuries, the coup groups feel like they were being neglected. So that is some of the reasons why they staged the coup. Okay. So you see, it doesn't have the masses at heart.
Okay.
Do you understand?
It's self-centered.
Self-centered to the military. So that is why it didn't materialize. So it doesn't have, I mean, the similarities with the Guinea one is not really the same. This one was to make sure that the process of election was maintained, so that we will get a president that the good people of Guinea has given the mandate to rule the country. Okay. But then this one has a self-centered military, I mean, incentives or military favoritism or something to favor the military. Do you understand? So that is what we have. So let's continue from here. The situation in Benin raises equally troubling questions. Raises equally troubling questions. There are strong indications that President Patrice Talon, a deeply shady figure and a close ally of Nigeria, may have been aware of the coup plot, allowed it to unfold, and then used it as a political diversion to shift public attention away from his growing unpopularity and to help him clamp down on opposition figures, as he's always done. So this one is speaking, this particular paragraph is speaking against the fact that now Nigeria has come in to help Benin. Okay. Now they have a feel that all this will be associated to the opposition in Benin. Okay. So it will make rather the opposition unpopular rather than President Patrice Talon. Do you understand? Yes. So in order for them to, I mean, make sure that they keep the popularity of President Patrice Talon. Now, he's saying that he's very sure that the Nigerian government was aware of what was happening. When all these plottings were happening, they were aware. But they had to allow it to happen so that they will come in and try to save the situation and make it look like President Patrice Talon is the good one, but the opposition are trying to, I mean, bring him down. Do you understand? So you see, it makes it look as if this whole coup thing was planned. Do you understand? Just as we have in Ghana here, you see that these people they will start to have some kind of a beef. At the end of the day, you realize that it was a planned thing. Do you understand? Just to make one person popular and, I mean,
push a particular agenda.
Yes, that is what they were actually talking about. So as you can see, President Patrice Talon has a great alliance with Nigeria, and that is why they have this kind of, I mean, this man is trying to, I mean, bring up this right up there. Yeah. Okay.
So has there been any official communication from the Benin presidency so far?
Yes. So I think is whether maybe I should say the defense minister. Maybe yes. He came out to talk about the fact that the coup wasn't successful, and that they have arrested some of the coup groups, some of the members of the group, and now as we speak now, the coup leader is still on the run, and some of the members too have gone into hiding. There was one update that told us that some of them are trying to change into civilian uniforms so they can escape. Do you understand? So as we speak now, the only thing that they've come out to talk about is the fact that the coup wasn't successful, and then still we have the coup leader on the run. Yeah.
Okay. So aside ECOWAS, AU, France, US, have we heard from other countries also talking about it and trying to involve themselves to stabilize whatever is happening in Benin?
You see, these countries, they have connections.
Okay.
As the politician in Nigeria, as he was writing, making it look as if that was a planned coup. We've not gotten countries in Africa talked about it. The only thing we know currently is people, some of the countries trying to send their troops to Benin, trying to calm things down. So that is what we can talk about now. But we know that as we speak now, United States of America, they've come in. They are also monitoring situations to see the next line of action that they will take, also as a country, because they have their citizens in Benin. They have their embassy in Benin currently working in Benin. So they also have to monitor situations. If it happens that they have to move their citizens from Benin, they will do so. If it happens that they have to come into to assist some of the countries that are trying to calm things down, because as I said, we can't say that everything has ended now.
Okay.
Do you understand? Because as we speak now, there are troops moving into Benin to make sure that things are calm. So not a lot of African countries have spoken, but we've heard of United States of America with their communique that they released, talking about its monitoring situations and see their next line of action for their citizens and the Benin country itself.
Okay, so though this was a failed coup, what is the economic impact that is going to be on Benin as it stands now?
Well, some of these instabilities, when it happens, it takes the country's economy backwards.
Okay.
Because a lot of people will have this feel that the country is no more safe for us to invest, for us to continue working there, for us to continue investing in the country. Last Thursday, Rwanda and Congo, they affirmed their peace treaty that they signed. President Trump held them to sign.
Okay.
And now President Trump is saying that he is going to move a lot of big companies in United States of America to Rwanda and Congo. So if we don't have this kind of stability, political stability, peace in your country, definitely it is going to affect your economy. So for the next 6 months ahead of us, if things are not calmed down quickly, as we speak now, if things are not calmed down quickly, it is going to have an effect on especially tourism, the economy itself in Benin, and I mean socio-political activities in Benin will come to a standstill.
Okay, so as it stands now, if I'm getting you correctly, that means that trading might not be as it is. People going into imports, I'm talking about imports and exports, is not going to be as it is.
Yes, from even the communication that the United States released, we saw that they were talking about the fact that their citizens should make sure they find themselves in a proper shelter, in a place where they will be safe.
Okay.
Because you don't know the line of action. When Nigeria, Cote d'Ivoire, Sierra Leone, even Ghana, and then France, when the fighter jets came in, they started targeting some particular places in the barracks. That they started bombing those places, throwing in missiles to those places. So if you don't find yourself in a confined area where you deem that place safe, I don't think you will live to see the light of the day. I mean, the next day. So definitely, a lot of activities will come to a halt in Benin. As we speak now, the United States, they've suspended most of the operations in Benin, and I learned some schools too has been shut down, pending other updates that will come on this particular coup.
Okay, so that is what is currently happening in Benin, the Republic of Benin, as it stands now. We are hearing that 14 people from the camp of Lieutenant Pascal Tigui have been arrested, and they are still on a manhunt to grab Lieutenant Pascal Tigui, and then the law will take its due course. We'll give you more updates. Abusia yembora Ghana hanom dia na chese ensembebri na ekoso coming from the camp of the NPP no recently ena ensembi beton mountain so concerning the purchasing of a private jet by President Mahama's administration. Now it raises a whole lot of conversation among folks say hey yensho nipa ni nyansama because sometimes if you can't beat them you just join them. You who the same thing during the NPP era. And this is so by they are also virtually giving us the same vibe and the same motive. Chris, and then I also with this whole private jet saga, yet it is a MPP for the Omwaji.
Yes, it's a Dassault Falcon 6X, a aircraft beer. The NDC government already decided on the procure and also on the top of the amount a year buying.
Okay.
Now, you better anymore said the next beer 3 years, no, not plane ever land Ghana.
Next 3 years.
Yes,
okay.
But you show one. The moment omo ebeja tum na yese hu sika sem ne hu ne ma bia no eno so ahya se
okay
what I say enti ebi kra ye ni be te ebeda asori ne enye sika bi wo ba bi ne se de wa ko ma I mean it won't take that long
okay
ebia by middle of next year kra na plane na ba na ehun sem bebre ni nyina ne se yeah, can I say last previous government na etwam no between 2017 to 2024 omo yesen ko be top plane they will retool even the air force no matter how to plane for fraud their buying no to serve as a presidential jet but how are the NDC they were against it omo kasa be brave three mu said yes hu here because o minus see omo ho ye ho toye sa se wa ko to wiem hyen e de ama aban no se omo entina mu fandi omo djuma ene ade enti ho nsem bebre ena ebobo bae na August ya aye ho sem eto Ghana yi na ehu behia se se omampanyin we mu hyen eni in a good state and I say life threatening said o kan na hu behia se ebenya fofo enti no na President John Dramani Mahama on na ban omo ehya ase di hu komo ba ya they are trying to acquire one a year jet I mean jet for a year the abino na omo so helicopters about 4 of them na omo de ama a year the air force na omo de agi omo djuma enti a lot of people are talking the NPP assembly say omo wa ban mu in NPP no omo on they are trying to I mean accept the fact because yeah the plane ba wunim ni power akotena mu bi enti say ye mono na it is in good state there ene ye nyina ye pe enti wutietie mu say de ekona omo wa ban
like the MPs
the opposition for ne de omo ye fa no so magi atomo anisa but omo wan chen no they are trying to let the NDC know said this is the same thing that you people were against in 2024 enti se be ya Mumra na mumma se Ghana for na poor match to the good people of Ghana any omo maka.
Okay. So we are hearing that from Mahama's camp no one of the communicators for Mahama and so sorry Bawumia Edeni hu ajimubi what is it saying and who is this person?
Yeah, so Dennis Miracles Abuaje ena or Dennis Semawabetuja. It's a very long write up but then we'll take our viewers through near Chichi Mudia Momo.
Okay.
Or the assembly be na betuja. Now the very first part na me dey kan boso or kire say NDC for na more against a procurement of aircraft and even the retooling of the Ghana Air Force. But mama ehun abehia because ehun ne say enka as at that time nkomo buama ye retooling omo ye properly enka sansem ayeti somewhere in August I hosem say nke bia you could have avoided it. But a lot of people sometimes are buying new brona ye Ghana have both the government in power and opposition no. Sure. Because as some of them in opposition no when they come into power the same thing and they will try to do. Do you understand? And so yes, and the way you screen is so say all kind of one
so for this is from Dennis Edward Abuaje. Or say it's time for the NDC and its foot soldiers to stop the jokes and take this country seriously. The grace period is over and the future of this country is at stake. You said renting a plane was wrong because the current presidential jet was in pristine condition. You said buying a plane was wrong because the country was poor. The country listens to you, trusts and votes massively for you. then under 11th month, you turn around to buy a more expensive private jet for the president to bath and cook in the air. And you think this is funny. At the time you want to buy this luxurious private jet for the president, you still have the nurses and teachers you promised automatic postings at home. You have burdened the citizens with over 28% increase in the utilities. Inflation is down and dollar is down, and yet prices of goods are at an I think that Miracle Budget is talking about the fact that Mahama has been in power for almost 11 months now, but nurses for call demonstration, friends and doctors for call demonstration, and utility bills are rising, right from light consumption to other fuel consumptions and all. But still, you are thinking of buying a private jet, just like the communication that was sent out during the Coup era, if I'm right.
Yes, and see, on some the ribbon or the two jan, or share the very first part now, or trauma say, I mean, the NDC should take Ghanaians serious.
Okay.
The country itself, no more funny serious.
Okay.
Na omo emra bonten omo pagana for actual because send the omo SPK and as omo kasati a plane a year to anyone sem at a point the president has to rent aircraft and as I we saying no friend too quite they spoke against it.
Yeah.
Do you understand? And kasa at arrangement see August city thereabouts you know. And as at that time, we can imagine say if the Kasa president Nana Akufo-Addo, the former president, or more Kasanti, let me go and use the old plane. Na bibi ko see ya. Do you understand? And in the Kasa muni nyina trese. Some of mo Kasati NPP abai mu no. The same thing na because we have nurses I show mo buy
Okay.
We have other people say or stating or say there are about 28% increase in utilities. Hani na echi no mo say ye bobo sika no de akwakoto plane
Okay.
Enti ono ne de I know say the NPP they are not against it, but then they should come out clean and let them know say asem we ya na NPP 4% komo here in 2017 to 2024 na NDC were against it. And they should come out and then apologize to the good people of Ghana.
But do you think it was necessary said then it's verbal bonti abeka same way? Because one say at the end say during your tenure in government, you know, mo try say mo be purchasing, and then they came out and spoke and all that. Now they are in your shoes. It's a friend of the essence and the relevance of whatever decision say mo be taking. So is it not necessary say at this point they just support the motive rather than coming out to call out all these things?
At this point, no, me on says, me didn't say, omo aban no can be a woman. No, omo I ever so much to man, sir.
Okay.
But omo one China, do you understand? Omo one China, they have to talk and let the good people of Ghana know. Say that time now they try to purchase a plane. No, the bonus so.
Okay.
Do you understand? And then the bonus so. They really wanted to, I mean, save the nation from maybe future occurrences. And as I said, I will bet me I share Air Force, no bet me I share mumu kena ama omo at me aye ejumaye. And you know some and Danish miracles abaje e de ababe to just say.
Okay, so let's come back to the whole private jet issue. You know, we are saying say it's a private jet, you know, it has a kitchen, it has a bathroom and all that. And no esame up to the amount of money that the private jets will cost, if I'm right.
Yes.
And you know, is there no other private jets baby for say they who screens? There's a private jet the bathroom no and I who screens no. This is the kitchen, more like somebody's home, fully furnished. Don't you think that it's because of some of these things that is inside the private jets? You say they should be creating Mama Lodina and Mahama, so more word than call private jets in the one. Don't you think it's because of some of these things that's why they are raising this consent?
So $60 million and a call for a year that particular Falcon 6X no.
Okay.
And see it has a lot of features.
Okay.
Features. This plane was released in 2025 year.
It's a new release.
Yeah, a new release crowd, but 2025 year na omo e de buy. some of the pictures near the show mono. Now me kai say was it last week mo finance minister the two jump say plane no bathroom there ni muni ade. I mean,
but we are saying bathroom.
Oh, I was saying
also we AI.
Oh, that way yeah. I mean
Okay.
that was I mean the actual pictures of the Falcon 6X.
Okay.
I mean it has a bathroom. It has a space for, I mean, not giddy cooking,
but still cooking. Whether
Adriane kakra bia, ubet me, I mean, I'm managing
within
your flight time.
Whether giddy or no giddy, there is still a kitchen.
Oh, kakra bi, menkana. I mean, there's a kitchen. There's a kitchen space. And as ubet me, I be kakra bia. Ubet me, the akakama. When you have a long flight, any day. And yes, we are talking about the fact that CC in a Nyoma Bebre and Air Coastal Organa has here, Umuhune say, and can focus on building the country itself. Nanka you say, then they look at buying some of these things because they see it as a luxurious, I mean, private jet. Here, to the president. This is a private jet. Even if Eddie Mahama, every only moon where they're free so. Okay. But so no pair, I mean, he can push things so they can get it early, and that's a big access to it before we feel one. And also so.
But lastly, what a reaction it is saying from the normal Ghanaians are more active in Semefa this whole private jet home. Are they siding with the miracle about can say be Ghana at this point, or the normal Ghanaians are also into it?
Oh, you see, some of them said them kind, and someone is secret more fear more and I mean, between like I said, you fear generation, you friend you
okay.
What I say, not even an outsider plane, and as a foreign aircraft now, bet you people Ghana has you. If you baby now, bet you go. Yeah, dear. Yankasa yansu yo hu nipa ya ban mu nipa ne asrafo na na titim enti se basa yesi ekoto bibi say ya we've not gotten a lot of Ghanaians speaking against it in Dennis Miracles Abuajini statements now they ba me say me born a tough farmer ya hwefo atiase a obezo kire say asem na omo speaking against omo kasa tia no asa that time no enwe bi na ekoso sese no enti se ne mo se bukwa akotu ti sika say ya akoto wiem shen as ato helicopters 9 aka ho de ama air force a niema amokasa tia no as at that time amokasa tia sa niema we no the state of the country no enwe bi ne say hu e wa ha say no
okay
do you understand so the current state of the country no ohun ne say it is equal to that time na na do go for the pencil and all those person to plane it is that is what he's trying to tell the NDC say they should be serious a little bit, come out and apologize to the good people of Ghana.
And so NDC for net in a nutshell, no more
Yes,
okay.
Yes.
Okay. So for that is all about this whole private jet issue. Not to say, Chema, Ghana somewhere 4 years ago, no, Ghana was in limbo near Bre in another so accommodate. In all that chaos, they still wanted to go and buy a private jet and NDC for Becca Satia. Say no, so no. NDC buy and yes, be our minor. Yenama, they say, oh, hang much I say, you who de who debi. But still, now in the hardship that we are living in, according to Miracle Abuajene Day, Nanka, this is not the best time to buy a private jet. But looking at circumstances, need the ACC no see a better there. And your mum rabonting, no more patrol. Because, well, if we understand Miracle Abuajene, as in some be say, NDC speaking against them, no, also affect you more with the elections. Until then, you must rectify it, don't to me.
Yes, I mean, it's the write up, Nimuno. Or say, you said renting a plane was wrong because the current presidential jet was in pristine condition.
Okay.
As much as say, buying no as at 2024 NPP are buying mono. Now much as say, plane now presidential jets now what that is almost is France airport baby. Now any no, almost claiming say plane in the whole year pie president and another bit me use but he opted to rent a plane instead of using the presidential jet at the Eman. Or say you said buying a plane was wrong because the country was poor. The country listens to you, trusts and votes massively for you. Then after 11 months, you turn around to buy a more expensive presidential jet for the president to bath and cook in the air. And you think this is funny. Anyway, all these, men kind of said, all these specifications comes along with the aircraft.
Sure.
And you want to say Ghana for be kasa nti munyi baby edware ni mfiri
Maybe they can go for a more moderate one.
A more moderate one.
About to make
I mean, they say I will try na no atwa preko.
Okay.
They bet me ache the amount. We so the 2025 year no more releasing.
Okay.
Osha has say, I will say at the time you went to buy this luxurious presidential jet for the president, you still have the nurses and teachers you promised automatic posting still at home. You have burdened the citizens with over 28% tax increase, 28% utilities inflation is down and dollar is down, and yet price of goods and services are at. And so that is a Dennis Miracles Abuaje.
You can share your views and your comments on this particular issue in the comment section. No emu. Free Miracle Abuaje we are heading straight to the Volta region. Na Volta region, we say Volta region, uko PMU ewo senior high school edi Joje Penny ewo hono ma chese head teacher wo hono abusiafo sabre die GES ane wo motebri krata bi dia kwakoma head teacher ne say on free ni duty post ASAP enimani mi ya chese empese ba beto no ho kra dey na papa ya because menya sure say GES be sorry putupuru musa aka say we head teacher wo head school to sorry free ho na ko na si Chris boyemu na ekoso ewo Jujo Penny Senior High School.
Yes, headmaster Mr. Joshua Vijoro if wanya de kra
if wanya de
wanya de na ene say allegedly na ebeto dwa say oni school maya ni bi oni omo edi agubode kakra ewo honom ama eho ekokoba e bi mu start ye kan na say ye kan du be say 4 allegedly no mo kan school kwara na headmaster yi ede ne nsa akeka omo na na say omo du be 9 na ememu ba ko ena aba abonten a eno no akoya asem say oni na anyim impose sen say eno eho asem ena aba beto dwa say the headmaster aso ayehye na say o say omo manage nchen na omo hwehwe nsem num na say omo ehwia omo de ho asotwe e de ama no nti ema omo e de ho krata tententen ba ya say wa kan we Joseph Joje Penny Senior High School no so ewo nti visiting hours so ni obi a school
minimum obi a Volta region so it looks like this is becoming a trend because obeda be sorry bia na you say headmaster bia you say headmaster bi ni enkra you say headmaster does the GES have we can say code of ethics for this head teachers regulate or more involve yourself in things like this?
Oh yes, I mean teacher-student relationship, no, or more as stating categorically how you are supposed to relate with your students. Into and also so honoma or more about code of conduct and your ethics in my room. Now it has become some kind of a trend.
Yes, yes.
Met me as a coso.
Okay.
A coso pan a ban ma bonting. Do you understand?
Okay.
Obi o bet me atata wo school musa when fina time bia no so etimi yes. So that is what we have on our screens. Also GES interdicts Joje Penny SHS headmaster over alleged sexual misconduct. It's no any release aba say idea or more aswa so when say na me ka kan no. This is not new. Ekoso. Ekoso partners all the ma bontia and yente ho asem.
Okay.
Some of them too they've agreed to it say oh ye be ye some of the students too omonye until they agree to some of these things no mo yesi omo ne teacher for no ne headmaster for no binti wo de ma bontia na enchese afi na started.
Okay. For as we can see on the screens, this is coming from the Ghana Education Service. Or say, this is more like a reply. It says directive to temporarily step aside from your official duties. Name Mr. Joshua Vijoro, staff ID Enewohono. And it was say under instructions from the Director General of the Ghana Education Service. You are hereby directed by management of the Regional Directorate of Education to step aside from your position as the headmaster of Jujo Penny Senior High School with immediate effect. It's say, Chilima, anybody, we know, then now, krata now pack your box. Sorry, if you are, way if you penny, what that GES no annum. Also, this directive arises consequent upon your alleged involvement in sexual misconduct with some female students of Jijopeng Senior High School, which allegations require urgent investigations into. It's not just say, I say, I somewhere did that down, Kofano, Moka say, headmaster way, Mr. Video, Joyo, school, when you do into almost so much there. I was saying, many almost started so many shimu, and they are no crepa, and what assembly emo said the temporary cessation of your official duties is deemed necessary in order to guarantee the integrity of the investigative process and to preclude any real or perceived interference therewith. Into omo pese bibia ebeba be say eye hwehwemu no mo ye na nu nti no mo pese eye headmaster Mr. Joshua Vijo ofri ne debra wo krasa headmaster no okotene fie no mutumi ye omadwuma no mu ye ne yie no mutumi hu no kra no a ewo asem no emu. Or say accordingly, you are hereby instructed to forthwith formally hand over all official duties, responsibilities, records, and any property of the Jijopeng Senior High School presently under your custody to the Municipal Director of Education for Ketu North. Enti eye Jijopeng School ewo Ketu North District nimu in the Volta region. Enti say echemu say the education sector no and as a municipal director penny oda adesua ho nsem so ewo Ketu North no Mr. Joshua Vijo onfa bibia ankoja no se school car kra na wo ha fakoma hapa no papers bi wo so sanya fakoma ni ade bia sebe ewo nchen no ewo so de koma principal no municipal director no sorry na wono ekuremu until further notice. Or see, you are also to vacate the premises of the school from Monday 8th December. Inti eneya amino kase die. And they say GSM person omuni kocha man saying ebecha Mr. Joshua Vijo so ewo school no emu. Or say after handing over, nonetheless, you shall remain available at all material times to assist the competent authorities in the conduct of the investigation and refrain from any form of direct or indirect contact with the female students concerned and any potential witnesses. Internet say chema adesuafo na yesusu say yera Joshua eni omo akwakwa yem supi ne saa ne omanioma ni nyina no mane mmon humusuo eni omu bia eni nsanwoso eni obi ankasa anything like that should not happen. And afen so no ontimi nko akire school wo de empe wo but say wo ben say de be ya ye hiani atoto wano a nya fei na wo be my story say wo ha ana wo ha. Also for the avoidance of doubt, this directive does not constitute a determination or presumption of guilt on your part, but it is an administrative measure issued in furtherance of due process and institutional accountability. Into omuchemu say nyese bia yeka say for dibreto ho no na esisu dua say asem na ye ka no no krese waye but was say emramu no omutimi ede sa niema we gu akwam se le be omutimi ahwehwe asem ni mu ehu ba bia no kre no den eda enti no ye nka say ebia GSH so mo nka say he is guilty of the crime and say kwadro ede bono no kre say anisa nete. Also the Municipal Director of Education for Ketu North is hereby directed to take charge of the administration and management of the school until further notice. In the absence of Mr. Joshua Vijono, that is the Director of Education, I will work to North and the Bekwaku Disa Jumawi. Now, Chris, this issue said it's something that has been happening in SABA at the forefront. Anytime as MBC busy with headmaster involving himself with additional form mano, the results, whether they are guilty or not guilty, no, and you be a GS at the better Montenso, and are there sanctions for them? Because I remember the kitchen stool incident. I know to see there've been other ones near the Nansinya crisis, but no so teacher be a friend student in the office on near their day. Do they sanction them? I best serve it as a deterrent to other head teachers, Emma or moon form who are involving things like this.
Yes, and so you see, issue be say no. I mean, is the GS and or more ever handle. And so we no more say assembly power. Then we see the next line of action.
Okay.
Because or more code of conduct, any or more ethics, no. The punishment, and I said punishment also the mount So we are boni bi say ya. Punishment was the amount. It is meted out in a year code of conduct in your ethics name. And so and send your communication about say free GS one. The same way, and I said, more eshusumness as some board headmaster, how much communication is about abonting. Nase be a person press charges are. And as a Ghana Education Service, now as a person press charges in poor, maybe due to the extent of Nyama cost and as a Nyama. I mean, they have the liberty to, continue from there.
Okay.
But basically, what happens is code of conduct, ethics, and punishment. They will met it out to the headmaster.
Okay. Now, what about social media? There have been calls before we move to the next story. There have been calls that the female students should also be put in check because it's to be a woman so na ya woman edu head teachers in there.
Yes, said I'm a kind. Maybe more. I mean,
okay.
They feel like, hey, na me kiti say na me teacher and I'm headmaster. So you pay me.
Okay.
Hey, and you mean so me level I there. Course work academy.
Okay.
Do you understand?
Okay.
Some of them no. Yeah, or more any do you understand? Or feel big. Say teacher and poor bega jem so any jim and I say, oh, headmaster class in any jim I mean kiti say.
Okay.
What I say, okay. Some of them, I mean, it's some material I said one way or the other. Yeah, no, we okay with some of these things. And you won't cry become a third person. Okay. You understand it? But the female students too has to be put in check all the time.
Yes. Everything for Nature said that is all about it. But then you monitor this particular issue. Yeah, she say any update I beba from GS concerning a year Joshua Vijono ye whole updates bema. Now moving on to the Aseda hit maker. Make sure a year osua mi suiwe yimie free mo nasi. Mifima kumemu nina medawasio. Nasi abe shocking revelation about his life. Ene eye napomuden honsem. One thing about Ghana entertainment industry is mostly aya na omo fans any followers are so concerned about their health. Ene omo apomuden honsem. Now, Nasi nsema odi abetu dwa no ase abo amanfo bebre pusa am say hey this man doesn't really look like what he is saying. Can you give us more details about it?
Yes, or the ensemble too, and some say, or one as Nasi, at a point, doctor be diagnosing say, or a sickle cell patient.
Okay.
Because no area or hospital near day. Now, doctor, and say, and only
okay.
By 20 day, 19, 18, 19, 20 day, I think we're free, we say.
Wow.
And the kind of the level of diagnosis, doctor and diagnosing a training or sickle cell. Ewo ne ho enti e ma no ekodru se nyame adom se o se baby when na dru de na say doctor na nsem o de tu dwa no anhedam
ebusa yenko tie se de Nasi ankasa de nsem
they said you won't last 50 years. No 20 and you're almost 50.
Yes.
I
think the doctor even is.
Oh, you mentioned that they said you won't last 50 years.
No, 22 years.
And you're almost 50.
Yes.
I
think the doctor even he's dead and gone. But I'm not saying God has punished him. But you see, he was old. I think he was over 70 something or so.
Okay.
Yes. I mean, Dr. Beecher, may he so rest in peace. He's very wonderful. He is the one that God used him to save my life at that time.
What did you do right?
Okay. Almost every week, if you know sickle cell, you pass out any moment, anyhow. Oh, yes. So if the attacks or what, I don't know how the word is. Yeah. It's crazy. It's crazy. So me, I was saved by God. In the church, my pastor preached, and I remember the title of the message was On the Cross. So I was behind my keyboard, and then when the preaching was going on, after the preaching, and then he did an altar call. So I was sitting behind the keyboard whilst people were going forward, and I said, so if God died on the cross and took all our sicknesses and all our problems away, why am I still sick? Why do I have to sick? I don't need to sick. that was the questions I was asking myself, sitting behind my keyboard and playing. So before they realized, I just got up and then went forward. And the pastor saw me. He's my pastor, the Reverend Kwatinsian. He saw me. He was laughing because he knew, Mahama accepting me that. So why this coming again? So but I have to, because I heard the message differently. And that wasn't the first day that message has been preached. But that day alone, I heard it differently. So I went forward by faith that God should take all this, my brother. Because Charlie, Manu Medrusa, and you know the number of those days, 10 hours, so Medru be 10 hours. Ubenum sa enonyong. For the castle, the one Udumundro is Australian apart. The next thing is immediately you take your breakfast. Your son Druni lie. Unumbi, now 1 minute, now unumsi, now uboti, Charlie. I was tired. So I went forward and that was it. The pastor called the elders and they all came forward and they poured oil on me. They prayed for me. Since that day till today.
You've never taken any medication?
No. No, nothing. I've never felt sick again.
The producer, musician, Nasi, what you say, sickle cell. Because I'm sure someone named sickle cell, yeah. I mean, it's miraculous you live who say be a sickle cell person when you abroad like 25 years.
Oh yes, they even have a community, they have a group or more atia, they try to help each other so they can be able to keep up with their health. And see, yes, I mean, it's one condition no one wishes to have themselves in it. And yeah, anybody wants to be in it, I mean, kind of sad, because it has a lot of conditions that one guy said they know can. And you are any other because a map baku way back now we are back. You can have pain, there can be anemia, you can be anemic, there's jaundice, there's swelling, sometimes you can get lung problems, stroke, vision issues, infections, different any other, but mostly some of them some way somehow they are able to live past 20, 25, 30 na omo eko. But only the from infancy, most of the time infancy na yeta eyi ne ho adi. Eji say body na ntimi enyina anu a na chese within your teens na sebe de o eko ne ade. But only the miraculously enya ade a etimi sesa sa, do you understand? Entimi ma say wo SS now done AS and no, it doesn't really happen like that genetically. Intimacy, but only the end there. See a bomb pie man on the oil and a goodness on the amount who it's me a ton or and yes, that is from a.
So does that leave a say people that talk about God and Anyame and a bomb pie, because you know there've been a lot of talk say Ghana for ya before pa the develop here Jumani the better honum a bomb pie and sometimes it's waste of time. Is Nasi trying to let us know say Empire bonus idea is no waste of time?
Oh yes, I mean definitely it's not a waste of time. Definitely Empire body, I mean it's not a waste of time. But the other side of it said the elders, because Nasi Osano was on the music no start say yacho from infancy in crowd dream crowd no start say ya. Or don't know about conquer. You conquer no boy or the graduate keyboard no boy kakra no start say I think say somewhere or doko area muho baby, that is I mean or also starting no co studio near there as a producer, musician, it's your tonium come on also the hit on releasing a rough it been in Namasia but or the back be tuma and see now as of one who sadness how or so hospital my diagnosing is I mean and said I near at the pack and a ma or more bompire man na say the ochere say watimi every ama bompire man for so many I mean years I didn't he's getting up to 50 I mean I'm went to me anyare ewo hono nti yes that is from a year na see nti bible dey ehun here pa.
Okay, so we've gotten a lot of people that I say they always attack on the industry ni mu dey you attack any sign your man also. But then this guy Coca, I'm sure you know him very well.
Coca, yeah.
Yes, there have been times he has spoken about a friend is saying Nasi to for any idea, the perception that he has and all that. you think that Asema Nasi kind might be like a kind of say straight jab to him or something? Because we see some of the things he says and as acquire like a direct jab to Nasi or someone like that.
You see, Coca is an NPP guy. Coca, a NPP guy.
Okay.
And Nasi so is in NDC. And he's on a bonyum.
Okay.
Edema, President John Dramani Mahama.
Okay.
And he said, Coca and some or Becca and some be at their far a year and to form because he's also in the he's also in the industry. I mean, men kind of say he's also in the industry. I don't know a movie kakra the beba moana or they be joining NPP na since so ho enti I mean say enkomodi na ebisa akoso na ohun ne say okasa na okeka ne nsem say the obeso kan na say we have a counter from Nasia. You could see say say is it media and I said then industry no for me no and they are trying to I mean maybe throw jabs at each other but say oko can say be good who fi no babontia he has to also come out and then defend himself now they all make him say they also can
okay now that leaves us to recently is it last year or this year we lost one very good friend of Nasi Koda and also ebe yare with this whole ailment near there those say ni dear ni shada sickle cell near but then you can say was it a miracle say Nasi etin kwamuna Koda didn't get to leave though omunyina ye gospel artist near there.
You know, you see, health issues angasano. At a point, he said, "Uji unyami di na obompaya," and ema ti Mrs. Adema. Na see the or say obeka asem church so for no catch and say at that time I want who the level of Christianity and I see in who ashim no. Any kwase we say then eto aja say. Koda also born home modern. Aja say oye na dwuma ene ante ne nyom uhwe ne nyom no so ye producer sabi and now say ye nyom ene ade enti ono ne de oni na see the I mean you know say the kind of bond no more na e was show but at a point when your health begins to fail you the name be brave ho also find serious you what I say enti enye say bia ono no so ne bia ne nyam so mo ne ade no you see papa no bro sabe
okay
and yare ni ade ebebubo ma ebefa no ede na ekoye
yeah so for that is the story of Nasi on said the yehu na ne ya otimi hit songs ma ye de jamia the tree streets ni ade I just say nyankopon na sustaining no holding it on now then call a Shaiman uti a Shaiman and now at Stone Boy but this time around it is not about Stone Boy it's about an initiative just say a time will come and maybe the assignment we are seeing today, we might not see it like that again. Because then they see assignment, to say, assignment, we better assignment, you better different.
Yes, Mrs. Justina Ruby Anipa.
Okay.
Town and country planner.
Okay.
No, I mean, nowadays she's in retirement. Now, there's some more there about to Jano. And said I'm shocking, but some way, somehow, a little bit shocking. So, you can ebi a enche bi we won asama ye bebu for baby egu ni esi we na bebu for baby egu ni asesi and say e hono no mo se omo friend dormitory town or something because as at the time omo si tema habo no na omo si dan no omo ba ho be da ho
okay
enti didimu na abaye kro nti ama kro ne planning no endim se de o se eye what I say enti e no ho nsem e na ma me di tu dwa on de ohunu se o se nka ye bubu ni nyina na ye planning for near sanso esi ne for yeah
wow and they say the assignment we are seeing no settlement nenye
yes settlement na
yen bubu no na yen restructure ne
yes
yen layout ne for
yes
drains wa ha edan wa ha sa but do you think ebeye adwuma
oh I mean say President Mahama start here or dey nsem abetu dwa until before that no yen kɔ no yen hwɛ ma me nsem a ɔde etu dwa area ne abɛka ho nsem say dey was ye ka no and from President John Dramani Mahama side, I didn't say be on the two. I didn't never be friends. So they video.
What should we do now?
Ashaiman. What was the plan for Ashaiman?
Ashaiman wasn't planned. Ashaiman was planned by TDC.
Okay.
Because at that time, Ashaiman was the It's called a dormitory town for the workers who were building
The harbor.
Tema.
Oh, okay. Dormitory
Yes.
town meaning when they work in Tema, they go and sleep.
They go
in
and
Ashaiman.
sleep in Asham.
It's no longer a dormitory town. No.
No.
What is it now? What kind of town is it now?
Do we have a name for it?
Ashaiman. Can it be fixed?
You have to demolish the whole place
You have to demolish the whole place.
to refix it.
And then what? Build vertically?
The land itself is low-lying. So if you want to build vertically, you have to have your foundations.
Very deep. Is that why we don't have too many story buildings in Accra?
Yeah,
Because we are low lying.
we are low-lying. But people are doing it now.
Yes.
And I don't know what will happen. Yeah. Accra itself, we have the earthquake zone passing through certain portions of
Yes.
it. So we have problems. The 39 earthquake took part of the beach area
Yes.
right through. And little shocks come,
Yes.
and
These are warning signs.
it's a warning signs. And then there's the Wager area.
Yes.
It's also
MacArthur Hill, Waiter.
yeah, it's also an earthquake zone.
I was saying 4 years. So this is what is coming up from Mami Joyce, and she's saying that as it stands now, Ashaiman needs to be restructured and be reframed because said na Ashaiman etieno it wasn't yamfa yanya ne say bia baby anka amanfo betu akwa tena bebrisa na baby anko fokwaje I mean they go and rest after a hard day work any ade in the interview woye no wone yankasa ya de nyina kafuide and one ne sa interview no and I just say we explain no how we got the whole Ashaiman settlement. But in this day and season, no, man for SCC or more dying, living with their families and their children and all that. Share normal market congestion exercise, no. You can see how it goes sometimes. You said the curiosity and all that, you know, man for ninja. How much more baby uncle for that? So do you think this will work?
Say ebeye adwuma na say enye adwuma na me kan no nkaka do you understand see any artist President Mahama obesha ye boss see obaba be see a modern city everything is automated.
Okay.
But I say yenhu kiosk wa bonten yenhu papadan yenhu some of these shops are DCC kwan ho ne ade no yenhu bia is going to be more like an AI city. And President John Dramani Mahama Shebo said Obabisi. And some of these developments are with a Kafuide in interview on him. Some of these developments are basse. Because Ashaiman Gasanomi, who some of Fakwan we saw me Ashaiman. That was a who ran that bridge of that's a Okupiwa. Like the place
so congested.
The place as a baby or the as a you see, and she said a mamane cano. Say, I mean, there are some parts of Ashaiman or more, or more IME, but then the inner Ashaiman Nangasano is too choked with a lot of, I mean, improper layouts near there. I was a Yeshena or Muyeni. The Abankas obey and Quadia, obey a Bassy in the Emsa Nima, and I buy any share. The Emso will hold the obey me Ashaiman. Now, or more Aqua could be a home so a whole Juma a home. See, ever hear how this whole thing will unfold.
Okay. I'm sorry Ashaiman issue we eswa na yankasa ye mame ya de nyina agra school agrada one and say your friend Josephine sanse nyame de nsa aka no na sorry danya wo de esom no sorry dan no there've been a whole lot of controversies. I even remember there was a time either Councillor Lutroit ebeka say agrada enye nyame ne frɛ no na ya sorry dan e ne frɛ no sorry dan we hu nsɛm abɛyɛ a whole lot of issues onipa ba kwa de bia ye ka sorry dan we hu asɛm a ne din comes into factor so for a pie life. Now, in some course, a version of the story, but and then so for a pie life about this whole church building. Say the sikodi agra dance muni ade nyina no waba aba be church ensemu e de afa ho a nche ebe akotie say de wono ankasa papa yi wode ne nsem etu dwa. But before that, no Chris, what is a pie life saying?
Ono de ne nsem wode tu dwa mse meti aka say spiritual kakra.
Okay.
Dodo na say waton asori dan awana say waton asori ama agrada.
Okay.
Ba ono no de o say enya asori e no ton ma no na emom o di special a odi ama ade nkasa otoma agrada no nti ye wa kotie wo no ano ho ye wi ani aba be church because it has a very different meaning, a very different explanation. They said the hunu no no and a prophet a pie life e the etudwa ama at the time o kasa ni pon ni di nkomokra no na on said anti ase ye nti free hono mo na eba we explain and go into what he was really saying.
Long years.
Okay. Asori baby amusi na hwa na esi sese no.
Hwa na esi enko baby ya.
Asori no na wo ton ma eye mama part eye agrada.
Enya asori dan ana meton ma na ehia dan ana meton ma.
What's the difference?
Bible say Erade nti dan a nipa ede ne nsa yim.
Okay.
Baby o nyamete eye makoma mu.
Okay.
And there is a difference between a sorry dying and a share dying. And the Bible says, Munnimu say, Munipadia, a Yamia sorry dying with Yamehum etimu, and Yameno or Timimu.
Okay.
A hono a share dying, and I'm a tomana.
And share dying now, what tomano no. Now, Upeso free ho. And answer says, I sorry not performing to the no person free one answer.
Oh, one said, a radical catcher Abraham said. On free na sase a wo so no no kwa sase foforo so na ho no be hira no me free ho no me promise the whole world any ni panyina wo Ghana ha so ma me 3 months me di besi asori dan foforo me ko si asori dan foforo no o mu anu mu ye me interview se maton hia dan no maton asori dan no a o mu ni mu ne o mo kan be ka cho mo se 3 months no so yen obi o ye me interview bi me invite no san kofo me invite mu no mu ke cancel mu nyina na duru se me invite obu ya ama minim sa what dey make me new place no me new a ho na ye ya sorry Sunday oko Facebook a wo ho ene ye ya sorry Sunday ye ho ene ye ya sorry don na me adom merci a sorry dan very nice. O ma no mo kika kansem say ana waton ni hia dan waton asori dan o mo kika kan di o mo pe no am si nyame asem na munnim wi ase so bi kitana de na waton a nya fe no obebusa say ana okoto obi ade a na okwa na nipa na busa say oye adwuma ben anza na waton mo.
Okay. Now say I show to here. Ama asoro wo se ehwa na si no.
Enko baby ya.
Ba show to here no. Wo dey show the here area no.
Me hu ifa angofo bi bre sende mame.
Okay, fine. Ama for wo die ho abubu se na wonnim pa se ho no waterlock. Wonnim pa o se ho no e waterlock. E na wo share da twama agrada. Na ada na wo yes
we are saying so be an na dom ene na chede tama me call weja foforo no obi a wo weja ho bia nim se no mo tai bie
sa ya de nyina a pie life obusia wodi aba beto montin so na chese wo chema at this point ne die said ye keka no ye cheche mu se ne asori waton asori dan de ama ye agrada no so wanton asori dan integration waton den
ono ne nkyere mu ne se ono waton hia dan ena edema ma part
okay
na enye asori dan no waton ma no se okaso waton asori dan ne mama part there na so person kire say according to what he's saying no person kire say or the asori members ene ma no What I say. And so the sorry members mama part also pet ni shiadan. And the only one say shiadan baby a Christopher Shiemu. Sorry, na no more Toma Grada.
But our money members.
Yes,
I got to train the members.
And she's okay, or Tom, sorry, dine a man. No, sorry, dine or no, or no, say. I mean, biblically, and I said in Christianity, you can't sorry, dine, who is a really pediano, and I make a better no, and you know, son or no, it's in yes, our tongue. Sorry, dine, and I say, who can as well, sorry, dine as members, no, what to and she had dine or dine is you as I say, in so. Ajifa abosono no na o kire se oton edema no.
Okay, so did he state or chere mu de nti a ode sa edan no e ma agrada na o mpe bie ma na onu weja ya sorry ne ya na sese
No o kan no one for kire se onu a pie life no tena se a prophet e tena se hu se baby onu nsuo ta betai ho.
Oh, okay,
enti eno na man for ka man for hu ne se papa no hwe a ho ye waterlogged area enti nsuo ta betai ho nsuo betai ho sa na o se o ma menya ne fast na mentwa mo obi. And now, for crying, who say, I am sorry, the dining CC, yeah, I got that cry. And can say that is what people were saying, say, who's in so tired, hunting or torn at the man, knows you, and Tessa. Now, Mono, about wage a hopeful for no. A lot of people saw how I now longer say, I have born home or then say, obey developing honor or the iron. Sorry, yes, in so better home. In Mamma, and I say, Yamia friend, until your pass sorry dying. No, so the 3 months, is she dying for fraud. Enti na wo ha obetimi aton eno no asa kwesi foforo ama na yeyi na ma na eton de man yeah.
Abusian for we have gotten the explanation to agrada edanya sabre de woni ne members ehie wo mu as me ne okasepo de nikunu enjilesi ama na take charge ama no no apart life no ye the owner of the building no finally wabetire mu chese se de ye keka no say me mamu reference to council literate asemo kan say sorry dying and a friend agrada no ochemu say sorry dying or the totoma agrada but then she had dying that is a church building okay, so there's a difference between a church and a church building yen fa ne sa say no a church building no no totoma agrada without members it says members are you so agrada sorry dying no ni nyina no members are ono ankasa agrada no ewini wo mo two na sorry now ye moving on na ye nko ensem foforo so am before agrada ye be sentence to 15 years in jail no na oni empress gift no mo ma ye some showdown bi wo social media no so na nya sem kit we were just loving it na Ghana ye de they say agrada ko dem mo no say Ghana ye di ye ntihwi biem oman ni mu aye boring any ade ni nyina ne say agrada ne hopes na doye eninya issues we all know this na ensem na kwedi court back and forth answer ye be jeli agrada and we're all looking at into way so ye be jeli agrada akoka ho ana na say ye be wiase no one na be 20 years in prison and so ene krata bia ba beton mountain so a omutire mu say agrada ene ne council omudi achelpa akoma oba so no empress gifty won nsem agrada keka fa no nyina say sebe we dwamanfo asofo ne yi mema ne dani ade zanse me na ye nim dada. So this is the apology a free eja asameni lawsuit solicitors and advocate enti omutrema apology and retraction of statement made by evangelist Patricia Asiedu at Mama Pat and say aka Mama Pat about Empress Gifty upon Adoye. It was in May 2025, our client evangelist Patricia Asiedu, aka Mama Pat, published several posts on her social media handles. These posts were made in reaction to a statement previously made by Mr. Hobson Adoye against her person. And to me buso minimum wa fiye mu and our client at Mama Pat edins nyema bi kogu ni social media page ni so na nyema na odi kogu social media page ni so no apparently na anu yie na odi yi Hopes na doye anu won nsem bia na Hopes na doye aka edi afa ne ho now say our client statements were made in the spur of the moment. However, they were taken literally to impute immorality and unchastity upon the character of Empress Gifty upon Adoye. Into muchema said the ansem ne keka kono. Agrada bra na oka asem na chese we de bufuo ne eniema bi ne ma ne de keka asansem nanso sa asem no nso e de ohaw abre Empress Gifty Adoye se be asay ne image ne debiality mate asem. I said it is now stated unequivocally that the allegations made by our client as contained in the impaired publications were false and completely without merit. Consequently, our client retracts every statement made therein. So muchema and someone sebe betutombonten so ni nyina no nukre biye ni mu ni nyina nya nukre entronkwa entino womo fasa akwanya we so asesa atese womo atwe asem na san said womo kan no we de ma nekufa those voice man kan ye kura na say agrada dance ma kan wan kan ye enti wo twe na asem no assign. Now see our client also offers an unqualified and sincere apology to Empress Gifty Adoye Opon for the harm these false statements have caused to her personal and professional reputation, character, and well-being. This apology is also extended to her family, friends, and colleagues for the pain and distress they have endured. Internet so much man. And some na agrada kan no mo de dwantoa ma Empress Gifty so on fan channel na de kan ni nyina na enye nokre na afen so na busuafo ne na adofo nyina mu nso achopa yi mu mo fa agrada fon so enye den enche no esanso mu nim se e de ohaw abeto na djuma so ene na brabo so Chris na asem na efri hin na bedu apology.
Yes, see, before I'm a who obi comment be waha.
Okay.
Producer my main kind kakra. Say lawyers will take money even if your case is nonsense.
Okay.
And promise you they will defend you until you get stuck with nothing else to do, and then they will advise you to retract or apologize. This particular post, and I say we are separate na one guy or say or the I am one kwan or the buy.
Okay.
We mama kai ma sembia lawyer bi ne ba. Lawyer you were dear seminar the usher or no so ne ban law school ama ne bana be wie.
Okay.
To we no so me ba we school dey na case me na me di ntime dey amount. And you hear asem no na kama me. Akwane koya oba fe na ni age oh papa oh me wie bibia oh. O say that then o say oh. And then koya ka asem na wie o client na di nkonim ti ya wie case no say hwan case na me ma hwe bi ahwe school case na me every case na show school amu no koye na so akowie case no obeje e say the all come and someone agrada akeka de fa ana okeka de fa Empress Gifty ho no I mean some of them are unprintable and yes no okeka sansem say the net no but to here say omu giginem so bebua no ne aka asem na ma na free ho because some of them I mean how the situation is and I say case you know said the city and I said the atmosphere said the keka kon we to na we ato ne ade no ene e man keka asa nti eno eho ensem ene ewo ho asese de omo de apology aba say the okan ye bia no the lawyers the aba say ansem ni bi kra wo court ye nkan we na we so de kira ye nti ka ontwe bi bia ansan
Na asem fa na
yes yeah
now social screens no so the originator and the cause of this whole drama ye chirema also no acheopa no nyintum Coup Sinadoye. So as you can see on the screen, Coup Sinadoye rejects Agrada's legal apology and insists the case proceed, saying withdrawing it would be a mistake. The dispute draws major public attention as questions of accountability and alleged spiritual practices intensify. Hey, Prez.
Yes, yes, the man of the moment, as it's a CID. Then I said the man of the moment is here. Maybe on the baby I be jinan so. What I say, because on the decision about na ne atum. And she say because in some no so say na boba na kakra efa ye papa ho kakra.
Ono no de buy ye onye safa ho kakra. He's the originator of the whole issue. Wan ko kan agrada ni hopes Empress Gifty ni asem.
Enti na ebi mo kasa agrada all time because ono wo de wa asem ko fro ne so a. Or that sorry live ba ko. We are obama post video and you may also call live as akokeka ne nsem e wo honom enti said e beto dwa na agrada lawyers dey a chop aba no I hope say na doye or say we reject agrada an apology no.
Okay, is he not doing too much?
Well, said you all can say it will be a mistake. The dispute draws major public attention as questions of accountability and alleged spiritual practices intensify. And it's our public attention kakrano. You know, sometimes and yes, because if you be something na say fine or the two agrada so na say defamation amount or the two so no okay no matter so and that's all this kind of crime nya na mum ya kan asem na hu say agrada difo ebia obopese mu hu asem no nkosi ase what I say nti no dey fine but say ye obejai mu kra ma na ka de bi a court on kan ye hu say we edifo we edibem na say ye be sign Prez gift woni ni kunuti ya sign omuti na ye hu so isi o de omudibem
nti na so oba say so pachewa asa nipa ne pachewa ne kra ma ni ai ma ye hu say nipa na difo wa asem no
a chop power panel you see there should be record say ye the asem court we can asem to me so ye the asem no court my can asem ni we no nipa na ye den wadifo what I say
okay
sa record no no mo be so munya emfanto ho what I say enye se wa ba be patcho na go timi patcho da wa patcho time e ka say ye na court na de emu ho ni nyina na ma mi ba bonten be ne live bon fam ho kura what I say e ji se sa na call ya kodu ye dia ni omo be say court nka asem no enkosi ase ye wie na se fine na so na ye bete so o se ye de be chewo because eni nyina ko wie ho as now no so wa je atuma fine but there should be a record towards that say ma many diffo what I say enti eno ano no
so I'm always obsa do any hu because mami yankasa she's dealing with the Lord into the unko so apology ni mu na asem mfa na asem nko ade ono opsi ni nim say the agrada kan yen correct and agrada so abe timu say your kan ni nyina no say be all be lie so don't you think you should just accept na yenko yen
you see ena make us say there should be a record say you can't say apology now the abane dey me say omo ebetimi agi atu because you see as we speak now my manager tum say wonu agasa we difo
okay
what I say eji o patch but there should be something that because you see I say public no so be okay because you team almost support Empress and you team almost support agrada what I say enti e was say enka asem ni nkosi ase the fact say wa ba baji atum say odi for na nche say punishment bi e wo bia e bia ma no
okay
what I say punishment bi e wo bia e nya fa ma unless say ye di asem na wi ama court agi atum say mama agrada di for so di for dia hopes in e be kire say okay sika mo say mo je no we bia me de a che no
okay
what I say aha say so ye be gina mo agi a e ko be fa so betimi aboa punishment na enko so much and affect agrada bebre no hopes in betimi agina so and so and do betimi agina so now abuano in that regard.
Okay, but do you know say mostly when it comes to this defamation cases near there it has to do with the personality of the person near there no asem near kakosia at the end of the day even if there is a fine or the defamation suit when it comes to the particular amount of money you are it meet so yet to we are yes come and apologize come and render an unqualified apology to the person the plaintiff no. And in this case, no, this particular apology, no, that means say assembly in a court hour and say they should come and render an unqualified apology. So one of Moody can apologize as a court assembly.
Yes, sir. Okay, now, so they want a year Hobson Adoye, Mr. Hobson Adoye, and then they want them to withdraw the case from court.
Okay.
What I say, and also so that Mr. Hobson Adoye on what I say. Yes, in the court into us. So I mean, all this ends up to say punishments are almost say yedema agrada no. They want to, I mean, free ho. What I say.
The punishment is a sika obechi ameboa.
Sika obechi na. I mean, you should move here na say because case there. Betimi the bifu for aba be ka ho. In terms no, omo pa chaw na say Hobson and ono na yere omo ejituma. Yes, and can be accorded. What I say, but also say because when the court has to come in and make sure say and somehow can go in who and no there should be something to back a year or bring back the tarnished image of Nigeria. What I say?
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Abusia for yenko piemu the camp of the New Patriotic Party osunuko kuruko amanuko no emudia. Na chese say no they are drawing closer to the presidential primaries. I name say hopefully January afia da nimu no busumi edi kan no NPP amanyuko no wo presidential primaries ebekwa akohyehyɛ so. Na no na chese me no ka say no new polls ababeton mountain so na polls na eba no ebusia it looks like one of them is leading. Now I won't be in a haste to declare who is leading. Chris, tell us who is leading in the new polls coming from Musa Dankwa.
Okay, and see betimi aka say the alleged relationship between Kennedy or Japan and the NDC, some of these polls, and as a polls, Musa Dankwa Bay is kind of confirming it.
Okay.
Do you understand? Because Kennedy Japan Babon say, "On one gasasha no who jina or no who jina wa." Who say NDC for angasa krampa to manum to say ye de on Kennedy Japan ba ebe jina de ma NPP a. Omo NDC for no section bi o ma gia to so beto about their man because omo NDC candidate on the bad they would want to vote for that candidate for NDC. And it's only Kennedy Japan kwa bank kwa dia omo ebeto about their man. Who polls as to who is the favorite NDC for omo voters and who polls and Musa Dankwa dia ban.
Okay. Now, show screens so this is coming from Musa Dankwa. Now, we all know Musa Dankwa to be somebody what a year does research polls near there. Even the just ended elections and the people are celebrating anniversary of last year's election now in SMBP near there no. He brought out the polls and I think we saw what happened. And this time around so what the new polls are about. Saying a new twist in the NPP race. The social media poll shows majority of the NDC voters and floating voters now prefer Honorable Kennedy Japan than Dr. Bawumia, contrary to previous polling data. It's just a post as time goes on, we can ye be dada. And then say what's happening for Chim says, as a near many dane. It's as a post way or social media and so. Na ma NDC for ene omo to aba omo de mo nse da ndoma manyuko bi ende o to ama we o china o to ama we no na nso omo woni se saafo ni nyina no omo ayo madwen se ye de Honorable Kennedy Japan be gina ho a ene Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia ene omo be ken afa. Now also the poll shows that KOA, which is Kennedy Ohini Japan, attracts 39% of NDC voters support compared with 33% of Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. In that is much NDC for no or post ni we na who say omumu be 39% they are supporting Kennedy Japan and at 33% supporting Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia and says 33% compared to 39 was sure. So it is Kennedy over Bawumia. And I say Kwabena Japan is in the third place with 14%. Among floating voters again, Kennedy Oyine Japan leads with 38, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia 32, and then the last person 15%. International say for more explanation, NDC for the Bawumia Kennedy was winning with 39%. Now floating voters, and they are tuama we or chino tuama we no. Womono on their side no, and also Ken was leading with 38%. And Bawumia it was 32%. So everything shows that people are in for Kennedy more than Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. Or say it is yet to be confirmed if this new twist will be reflected in the telephone and face-to-face edition of the national tracking poll, which starts next week. In Tise de Mekaye, way social media so. Afei no mo betwe telephone so afrefrem kofo ene omodi saa interaction ne hu de omo nso mo beto ama no. And afei so one on one ye buy unie mini eno so entese no wi a na se no so ba outside there na chese betimi aka say Ken is likely say amount for FLA Ken and Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. Say no two elections are the same folks. Strategic communication work better than data. Don't fly blind. And Chris, should this be a wake-up call to Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia? Say, man interested in no baby.
Me I can say yes, but before that, I think we should look at your post.
Okay,
so this is actually from Info Analytics.
Okay.
Or more from Musa Dankwa. So, Osha, Dr. Baumia, Osha, the deep blue no, and no NDC or more pe as a more to about that particular candidate in case of Bejina de ma NDC and as NPP. And I hear sea blue now and also your floating voters. And see, washe nema mienu we proud to yekoto year 2028 election. And the first one now 38, 33 I don't know. That one was kind of in relation to also we have here floating voters name year NDC fangers. And you hear Dr. Mahmoud Baumia or 33% as a year NDC for percent or yemfa Dr. Mahmoud Baumia mra. And I have floating voters are or more under 12 about 2028 a 32% or more per Dr. Mahmoud Baumia.
Okay.
What I say for a the NPP side. And I over a year Kennedy or Hene Japan. Or no 39% are NDC for essay or no your favorite. What I say. Or more or more about in NDC no or more affiliates says NPP the Kennedy or Hene Japan bar or more ever to about man 39%. Where or more to about NDC yet or more floating voters. And some about floating voters and so 38% a honor. A more macano a year DBA and why Brian Champon.
Yeah.
5%, both NDC and floating voters. And our call Dr. Ya or say a Duchmus so 9% to 10%. 9% for NDC for say Yemfa Dr. Ya or say a Duchum Emra and 10% is also say Yemfa 10% floating voters. Or more essay Yemfa Dr. Ya or say a Duchum Emra. Now here Kwabena Japan engineers so 14%. For a NDC form person yemfa Kwabena Japan emra and you 15% and also ye floating voters are almost a person ye de Kwabena Japan be ginem edema NPP. And see Osha said our question back now beside say Dr. Mahmoud Baumia or relax ya na say no. Info Analytics or more a poll on the buy for some other elections and as a past elections na said the own can be na adding a room. Na we na odi we so aba CCAD Kennedy or Hene Japan is in a comfortable leader CCAD abato no yekoto CCA na say obetimi edi nkunim edi ama the New Patriotic Party it's who polls na the buy 31st January we have barely 2 months going do you say 1 month yes month and some weeks now how this year polls will have an effect on the 31st January election on Benin.
Okay, and is this trying to confirm the yetete one wanting to say Kennedy can go boot on boot with the NDC candidate or compared to Dr. Mahmoud Baumia?
Once Kennedy is somebody to draw on or can say try and in the form Bako school me kuta we doctorate me a doctor me a professor one I try o mo hwesa no kan I try o mo hwe ama ye hu so fa so bia but yen hwe at this time no yen try someone who is a businessman say obi a businessman I yen try ono so na yen hwe say modern mo pain no betimi abo what I say as we speak now, me say Dr. Mahmoud Baumia on share with a year Kennedy or Hene Japan, how they call 2028 election against an NDC candidate.
Okay.
And no every polls are abana a we can have 39% of NDC for to abano to vote for a year Kennedy Japan. He can go neck and neck with a year NDC for.
Okay.
You understand? In as much as say I bind Baswa 8 years and so because first 4, second 4. But when any 1992, since 1992, a year the the Fourth Republic of the Ghana, we are very different because your president most of the time no and can even make 8 years continuous. And some were free. So but we will make 4 and was about for the second time. So the party is going into an election with a new person or no so bet me the remaining 4 years as well. So 2028 election, 2024 was history. 2028 is going to be another history to be written in Ghana.
Wow. So we see for that is the kind of saying you said the analysis are a free global info analytics for her eba much said it looks like Kennedy is in a comfortable lead. It's not really comfortable, but it's better. Chain Dr. Mahamadou Bawumia. And say party people are still on the neck of the NDCs. Omuchemu say at this point, NDC for by it's been a friend is saying a couple of months, 11 months near there, but we are still not seeing nothing like NDC no show. And so people are hyping buying papa, but we are still not seeing anything. Chris, what is happening?
Yes, on a prayer, I was monitoring a lot of radio stations. Yeah, they were talking about the 1 month. 1 year in power. Nema NDC for a year. I mean the highs and the lows of the NDC. So you see, sir, the communicators were trying to talk about a whole lot of stuffs about Nema NDC for Mubaba and Omo Aye. Na said the Yebisa obi asem no. Yebisa obi asem a watch NDC for. Omo enye no and okra say they all can no that is how the person feels.
Okay.
Ohone say yes, in as much as say they are trying to, I mean, please the good people of Ghana, omo bosha omo share omo manifesto mo be try so be. This is just the first year. And see, most of the people speaking for the NDC were trying to talk about the fact that the first year is just a preparatory stage, that they are trying to put things in place, trying to make some we could see the second year will be a takeoff. And they say as we speak now, first year we're still on the runway. We should expect the second year in the ABA they be fly, but some of the citizens know that almost your money in
it was a video in by
actually NDC. Okay. And I mean me NDC and me although kasa me vote to cry me anya me vote am NDC.
Ade.
Me NDC ni.
Okay.
And anya me NDC no and party no me party no me party no.
Okay.
Me MPP ni nti me MPP no anamu. Se mama po free NDC so no bet na MPP. Me vote to am na anya no na otena so na me mpe. Party no na me mpe.
Okay. I don't know you then.
Amonya me hwe but me nye party me nye sa party member no nti eno de enti me nye possible say
okay.
E ba metimi vote am.
Ba I mean 1 year ba. Osha nyama sesa. It's been 1 year.
Nyama sesa.
Maybe sir.
Me hu hwe me hu the value is the same. Me hu bibi asesa wo. Because senya me to ma de no is the same say na ende no me ye ton no sa na ye ton nti mo se nyama asesa me hu nyama asesa wo.
For na chese ye hwemu a omo se NDC for no eduma ndi omo ye but say Ghana for nka ya aka no we are not really seeing. Now one of the most troubling issues are ekoso okrom ha for me has to do with Daddy Lumba ebusia efiti Daddy Lumba wu ye okrom ha no say ye nya aso enne Lumba say echina Lumba say I mean it has been one issue after the other and I mean wo ka say a year ye be ye no kra no ye nyanya the right date say okay eyende and ye be ye year and so china ananse say and there ebusuanfo say na friend say how do you say it mention so say na court to say it has been a whole lot of issues back and forth baby me no ka say ebusua penny to pack ai edi no so ne de to pack woni ebusuanfo enkaya aka no o ma ba bonten abekasa finally because me no ka say there what we know and what we have in town no ASM 13th of December which is memene day ni bi ai if any say that Lumba ba ko pen kwa bre ama ehun to manyina ba be tutotom bonten so but now man for person mu how true this really is it's say initially now the funeral was supposed to be 7th of December and they say mentia e dey call a week after which is 13th but ehun sem no aye bebre ebusia penny to pack wa be kasa awochemu say eye ne de eba so life in college abusia yenje brani entie said wo no akasa to nanum tu kasai
Hey.
Abusiafo abusiapeni to pack video ni de edenya yensa beka na ama ye nyina yetie ensem a wo mo edit monten so now so sabe de ye kan nyina ne said they have confirmed officially together with some of the family members no omochemu say come 13th December Saturday ya ye nbeba so e wo baba yara stadium enti no obi ya emra na o meboa wo mo yenkohwe video no emra.
The chance na ocean muno. Omo ba ye gina yeda omase. Empo oma ntumi amma no mde mpaye etachire. Sika nkofo yi beboa yen. Edi na otwe fefefefefe no. Saa na ye pese mo beboa. Na yie nsu aye be ye nsu so mo meka ye ho. Na bibia ntumi toto na kwam fefefe. Na nya kama. Ye stress mo obia yi ne ho mfiri mu. Bibia osusu yi se o de beboa de lumba. Charles Kojo Fosu no fabra fabeboa no na minim se onyankopon aye krado se de obeye bia anso obehira wo enti mummra in numbers na nye fefefe na kumase ne ye no ye ka se ye ne konkra ne ye de be kumase enti kumase fo so munchira bibi se ye de aba o se krom na asante yin aboboa no ene ye duru enti munyina mummra na nye fa ahemfu nyina baabia mo bia bu mfuye mamoma ye ho mfrom mumra na nya fefefe abusu apanyini na ekasai on the 13th a year no ebaso life
On the 13th, a year no ebaso life. Chris, tell us more about Nsema Ibusiapeni to pack a kine say what they mention and run what the year Juma last say.
Yes, I say Abusiapeni said na ensem no esi etie no. A lot of people bashed Abusiapeni for some time because no one say wama the credibility of said the course or TikTok no. Sebi daddy lumba no losing the credibility ama a lot of people as or losing interest because of the back and forth the way akwa higher fa higher kujina ha ne ho nsem bebre enti eno e ho nsem na ma people make it say Abusiapeni felt like no amount for losing interest they also babonten na ode ensem ebetudwa utie ne nsem a o say wa we abobo esika no bibia also person ode ba ede beboa eye ni bia no ye twen fabra ne fa beboa eye no na enye kama enti eno na etwehwe amanfo ebegina so say Abusiapeni ni abre nyina na say ensabode ni sika ebeba mu nti na ni abre ya na because utie some of the external family members now mon sem ne say Abusiapeni kura no eye ni bi kura wo ho no ma ye Abusiapeni mo ho wampo kura da na mum da de lumba nko eye die waje ata na ni ase a say some of the family members no mo feel say ye omo afiri ma omo enti ho popoye bia ene ade so that is what is currently going on antino na ho behia say Abusiapeni be ba bonte no de nsem ba betudwa say de be ya de be dia because see flyers mienu na edi ahim
Okay.
Baku e match.
I was about asking you about that.
Baku match. And baku so next week ya manfo start booking hotels near ade. Ama se stadium hotel hotels trash here amekom ne askwa whole area hotels na start amanfo booking to edit to honum. Nti na also oshemu kena say no flyer back no mo ntumu na yenyusu 13th de na nemse na wotwe awie ya na no baso nti ye be se nyina be kokumase na yakwakoye yi a.
Okay, na che say from all indications no Abusiapeni to pack say wa be confirm me ama ye yan ho nti ase say no on the 13th nti ende obi amra ade bia na wo na pese ode me Abusiafo no you can still bring it ye beje ana meboa. Yes, so looking at it no is the friend is a mentime ho ase finally almost settle ana nti na ye ne ba so ana
Metimi aka se omo assettle because o sha je asem no ha na pa ye ma me akoso asewa.
Okay.
Ono na say asem no because ye ka asem ni we still na no so be kwa appeal
Okay.
Obeko appeal akwa asa ade sabe asem na court bia mo maka asem no de ama no. Enti ono na mostly asem no ejina no so pa na ono epese o kan nsem ewo ho.
Okay.
Enti se ebusua na nkasa the core family members no omo age atum so mbe because yene de oye dan a wo se ye. So anya this time and I say be cross it into next year.
Okay.
Into the core family members and I say external family members now omo ebe ye ejie no e say ye de share na afri mu no omo de omo age atum say ye de ye de share eyi na ye de ebe ye nti omo de omo age atum na emom e ma me akoso ase wa de say still na onye very okay with a court ruling na buy nti ye be say asese say de ekono and e ma wugu na akwa ma bia next week ebetimi akwakoye yi bibia ensi a ebekwa akoye yi.
So that means we are hopeful say Saturday eye ni betimi aba so with or without mami akosi eye ni beba so.
Eye ni de ebusia penya be announcement we press kesi o. O mo chia wa ase ho no. O mo chia na chese bibia tokwan mu aso bibia
first conference
nti sisi e de menka so maji atuma eye ni beba so.
Ebusianfo na chese the loved ones and cherished followers and fans of Daddy Lumba no ebusia penny to pack wochire mu say eye no 13th mutwemu mu kosoroba form wono wakase obesie ne dehie no obeye den obesie ne dehie a obia entimi enyehwe emfanfa ho. Now with all this that is happening now ye kase with or without mami akosia no eye ne bekoso no there have been other eye ensema abeton monten so efa eye mami akosia se wa eho a amanfo echemu say it's more like she being exposed of certain things that she's trying to hide and all that. Can you throw more light on it for us?
Yes, mami akosia se wa na danfo ba ko na ode ensem ababetuja nensem ode tuja na kire say at the time omo entem etete ye no na Daddy Lumba request bi e de free mami akosia se wa ho.
Okay.
Eno eka ho bi ena ema omo free na say omo ntem etimi tse sa na fe de Lumba na wo say oba Ghana.
Okay.
Any ade betoa na bibia o ye so e wo Ghana. Enti at that particular point no na oso o ma wo mo last born.
Okay.
Enti e rekoni akotie ma me na ngasa ne nsem odi tuja astu eye ma ho asem ti de enkoni enkotie wi a na abehwe se betimi atwehwe mo.
To have clean children. Na ma kusia na chere ne so ono ne de when you have 2 and a media, she's very okay with it. I want no crap rooms.
No problem when you say time for you can see walk and my brain. Sabrina not say wa I won't even Sierra or make it to our now when you're 41.
Wow.
Until at the age of 41, it was saying I bit me and Sadia come. Until I say me no go aka we na me pe ene ekwadwoko na ye ne awope na me ade me mfa me nkwa ento so at my age na me try se me sa pe fofora aka people. See, that was something they talked about.
There was a consensus, okay, but don't marry. Can that be?
Again, already no. Papa no woman me no. And son ST0RM.
Oh wow. With other women,
with different women.
Okay.
Back one. Any and plan back in Denise. And a back on so there. Not just woman a chain, the last born.
But I know the number Akusia say what anything about those children even before say a year.
Akusia will be a Wakuma or Donipa or Donipu. And to be beer to keep it going. And no na oye. But yet they said Tama or who Denise eno. Now or no but Darren mommy, I was young and then no aduane. And what they akoma e rabano. Enti e idea se see akra ni.
You have that.
Womo relationship wa. And say ya and I say e tokoswa asemi judgment ye ebaye Gina usupa free akosia eni supa was na ye niya already in true a year no one on in mami and I say akosua ebetena asen kan ye ewo asundwe mu a won akosua ne no item tabantana biara enyo a we mo dance
me yembisa daduma bad wo yo mu feno o feno o mo di no be feno
papi
dedi o me mbadu doku mbadu doku ba ya feno mbadu doku daduma Mommy, okay, a close Babema. Okay, a close family relative. No, what you say? Miss Sonny the bank to say.
What you very idea, pa? Or you be our cousin to and away, and now we be a good few on maritally, and can be. Me who be crown of American. I can see you cook out. About your man. Our temperament and our share about tango. Until you go in our meaning tea and one more. Now you hard for him to come out. But actually, you know, now we need choice. You came out, you have a very good time.
Remember, Nimba, and he said, but Nona, Akoma, this is your bed here because so for one time, maybe there's no odobuini. At what point did Mami Akusie who said, there's somebody called Odobuni? And who was he actually? Because people say, no, Sama, daddy. You must know any cleaner. You must say, of understand what I say. What is the role? Why not how Odobuni now or Nubuti? There's lots of pain Mami Akusie go through.
Let me, I can say, Akusie, even though you're prime. Now, don't go in now. I won't be and you know, 7 years. Houses 7 years. Now, you will be at home from now. We will fear one more. Yes, I will help her out. And see, I cost you back a buy a poem, which was somewhere specifically, mean, can I say 2017, 18, 2018. And see, and no more, and I just I cost you the money.